And we'll just start first by asking Cam how his preparations are going.
Yeah, they're going good. Obviously, got a couple matches in Eastbourne, which was great for me. Obviously, Chrissy it was too good for me that day. But I mean, if you're preparing for Wimbledon, I got a couple matches. I got yesterday to rest and got the weekend to practice. So I'm able to dictate my schedule now these days. So I would say it's going pretty well.
Rob? Hi Cam, Rob from The Sun. You're received, you're one of the top players here. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like you belong in that status now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously this is my first time in the other locker room, so it feels good almost just being in there. And I think last year obviously had a decent run, making third round. And I think I'm pretty experienced on the grass, or more than the previous years, and I feel more and more comfortable every year. So I feel ready and looking forward to getting going.
Is that locker room bigger? More salons, more pillows? Or what does it look like, this bigger locker room?
It's just obviously I think it's not as busy. There's only less people, and you have obviously all the top players there, so it feels a little bit more special, and the entrance is a little bit more special. So it's pretty cool.
Hi Cam. At Queen's last week you were saying one of the features of your increased status in the game is hitting partners, being able to practice with the top names and not feeling any anxiety about asking the big players to practice with you. Who have you been hitting with at Wimbledon in the past few days?
Honestly, I played Eastbourne last week and I had yesterday off, so today I practiced with Johnny Millman, so it was I always have good practices with him, and I usually let my coach organise the practices, and that's his job, and I guess he's having to ask more of the top guys, which is great. But on the grass, I haven't really hit with any of the top guys yet, so but in the past it's been great to play off their level.
Is there anyone you'd particularly like to get the chance to practice with on grass?
I think Djokovic. I've never practiced with him, and obviously he's decent on the surface and defending champion. So maybe one day.
Hi there. Nick Callow from the Mail. Apologies if you've already been asked this question. It's also your first time here as British number one. That always comes with a lot of expectation from the public. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, I think I've been asked that like 10 times already, but it's great. It's exactly what I want to be and where I want to be, and I think there's still 11 or 12 guys ahead of me that I want to try and slowly knock off. But yeah, it's exactly where I want to be, being here, being well prepared for Wimbledon and ready to go out, enjoy it, and play my game, and still a lot of things I want to improve on, which is exciting, but I'll take that.
Does it bother you that in terms of attention, Andy still sort of gets the number one attention, or do you prefer to be more under the radar?
I think obviously with everything Andy's done in his career and being a champion here, I think it's fair enough, and I'm not really thinking about that too much, and just trying to get wins on the court, and if that's the way it is, it's the way it is, and if I'm winning matches, I'm happy. If I'm losing matches, I'm not happy, so I'm not really bothered about that too much.
Cheers, thanks.
Hi Cam, Eleanor from PA. I mean, you've been so consistent at all levels, but how much is getting past the third round at a Grand Slam like a big target?
It's a big goal for me. I'd like to tick that box, obviously. I played a third round a few times now, and obviously helps with the seeding and having a slightly better draw, but no, I mean, it'd be nice to do that and tick that box. Obviously long way to go and a lot of tennis to be played, but I think if I keep doing more of the same and I think I've got a lot of improvement and a lot of upside in my game still, and so looking forward to the challenge of that, and there's plenty of good guys in the draw, so it's not going to be easy at all.
Robert from Scottish Sun. Your dad's going to be at all your games this year. What gets him more excited or nervous? You going deep in a tournament or Rangers getting to the Europa League final?
I think he can enjoy the Rangers matches a little bit more, and he's sitting down with a beer and he gets to relax and enjoy it. But I think with watching me, I think he doesn't get the chance to do it too often. So I think maybe a bit more special than watching Rangers. I'm guessing. I don't know if I'm not asked. I'll have to ask him later on. But yeah, great to have him over the summer, and my mum obviously watching me. There's been a while before since I've seen them, so very special, and they get the chance to enjoy everything.
How invested and excited was he in the Seville, and was he talking to you about it? Or?
Yeah, he was. He kept telling me how many people were flying over, and he kept raps on the numbers of. He couldn't believe how committed the fans were, and I was like, why don't you go? You should go. And he said, I don't know. He's looking at the ticket prices and everything, and he said, I don't know if I can get a ticket. And he ended up just watching it at a local bar, and yeah, he was pretty pumped, obviously, and not too happy about the final result. I couldn't watch it. No, that tough ending.
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. What are your thoughts about the action and the message of Wimbledon regarding the Russian and Belarusian players, and then the tour's response regarding the ranking points?
Yeah, I think it's this far into it. It's pretty crazy, and with everything going on, obviously, it's unfortunate now that everyone has no points. There's nothing on the line. Obviously, still extremely special tournament to be playing. I would still like there to have been points, but that's the way it is, and I'm not treating it like anything else. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but there was a lot of things going on, and nothing really that someone like myself I can do too much about, and yeah, I'm just excited to be playing Wimbledon. I'm glad, and I can still compete, which is great.
And Wimbledon's action?
Yeah, I think it was tough. It was a tough one, you know. I think morally they did the right thing, and I like that they were pretty onto it with that. But I do feel for a couple players, especially Daniel and Andre, who have a good chance to win the tournament. So I really feel for those guys who are so committed to tennis and so professional, and obviously have good chances to win. So I feel for them. But I think at the end of the day, with everything going on with the war, I don't mind that from Wimbledon, and yeah, I think it's just a tough situation in general. So it's not easy for everyone.
Hi, Cam, Molly from the Daily Telegraph. I wondered what your reaction was to the draw yesterday. What do you know about your opponent? And I also wondered, are you one of those players that kind of looks down the line at what could be who could be your opponents as you kind of progress in the tournament? Yeah,
I saw the draw, and obviously Andujar, he's I would say grass is not his favourite surface, but I think he's made third round a couple times, and he returns very well, so he can definitely play well on the surface. But I look at the first couple matches, and I mean, there's no point for me looking too far down the line, and there's so many matchups that could happen, and you don't even know who's going to come through the section. So I look at my section. I'm not really like planning my way all the way to the final. That I'm going to play him. Maybe first couple matches, and try to take it match by match.
Just take two more questions.
Now, Robert's Tennis Podcast. You mentioned that a big goal of yours is to reach the second week of a slam. Just wondering whether you've changed anything about how you prepare for slams in terms of, I don't know, just trying to reach that goal, whether there's something you've tweaked to make it happen.
Not really changed anything. I compete as hard as I can every week, and trying to just improve my game and my level week in, week out, and try play my game on the bigger moments in any tournament, and I'm going to compete as hard as I can regardless of who I play. So I think like I said earlier, just doing more of the same, and I think with playing quite a few third rounds now, I can use that to my advantage and use the experience. I'm not a guy who's just come out of college and it was my first time playing Wimbledon. I've played a couple Wimbledons now and a couple big matches, played on centre court, so I can use all of that to my advantage. And I think just try to be as calm as possible in those matches and try to play my best level in those bigger matches.
Hi, Cam, Ben from the Game to Love podcast. Congrats on being the #1 Brit for this championships. I wanted to get your take on what do you think of the ATP's decision to introduce in-match coaching for the remainder of 2022, and do you think this is going to close the gap between the top and the lower ranked players, or do you think that this could increase the gap due to the resources the top players have?
Yeah, it's a good question. I really like tennis, how there's two guys on the court and you're out there trying to figure it out for yourself, and I think it's a good thing about tennis. It makes it interesting and it keeps it pretty separate from the other sports. I think it's one of the only sports that you're out there and you don't have coaching from your coach or anyone telling you what to do. I think I really like that fact of it, and I think it's a shame that they're taking it away, but at the end of the day, and don't think it makes too much difference. I think it's just, I mean, you see a couple times people saying a couple things anyway, and it's a bit borderline, so I don't know. I think we'll see how it goes, and I think it's a trial. I don't know if it's actually a cemented rule, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But for me, I like it. Just two guys out there battling and let the better guy win, and whoever figures it out and whoever's got the tactics is going to come out on top. But I don't think you speak to your coach before the match and you're talking tactics. I don't think there's anything really obvious during the match he's gonna say too much, is gonna change too much. So I don't know if it's gonna make too much difference anyway. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes, and it'll be a good trial.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.